Turn my mic off. Hi, everyone. It's Eric Amoakwa-Boadu here, and today is the day where we talk about all things art again, and specifically African art. African art. So I'm so excited to come your way. But before I start the program, let's all do ourselves a favor and share the program to our friends, our family, our loved ones. Call everyone in to come and watch this program so that we'll all educate ourselves. We'll all have a good time this afternoon because I've got a fantastic, a fantastic artist with me this afternoon, and therefore I can't wait to get all of you in here to share the stage with me, to learn more about African art, to just enjoy ourselves. So, guys, do well to share the message. Let it reach far and wide. Let your friends come in and join because the Ghanaian artist that I've got for you this evening is going to blow your mind, the kind of things that he does. So I'm going to play the music again. Do well, invite more people, and also make sure that you comment because there are a lot of questions I would like to ask this artist. And yes, comment in the comment box and I'll display your comment so that we discuss the comment. So have a listen at this music again whilst we all share to our platforms right now. Welcome back, everyone. And as we usually do in this program, we educate. Let me try and get this light. There's a studio light in my face, which I'd like to get rid of. But bear with me whilst I sort that out right now. Otherwise, it'll be in my face the whole day. So let me sort this out, and then we will come back and enjoy this program. Program is going to be fantastic. I've known him for a very long time, but as we normally do, we're going to talk about the Adinkra symbols today. Now, the Adinkra symbols are symbols that date back to the 19th century, 1810 to about 1820. There was a king in the Ashanti region that commissioned people. He started designing these wonderful, brilliant symbols and commissioned people to actually design alongside him. So these have been symbols that are now well known in the rest of the world, and people use it for all sorts, for paintings, for T-shirts, for jewelry, name it. These symbols are featuring around the world, and they become so popular. But then every week I come your way and I pick up one of them for us to discuss. And today's symbol that we're going to talk about is called a busiampa. In the literal sense, in the Akan language, in Twi language, it's called a busiampa. And then in the English word, it means a good family. Now we all know the importance of a good family unit. And that is why the accounts thought it wise to reinforce that message amongst ourselves, to have a good family unit amongst ourselves. So you can see that there's like a window with a sub window within it, and then there are circles around it, binding this together. So if we stay together as one, if we stay together as a family, whether the nucleus family, the extended family, or friends, as a family, we can achieve more than just being separate in our mindset. So this is where we go. That is our lesson for today. Busiapa is the lesson that we're going to talk about today. Right. Before we actually carry on, I'd like to just admonish all of you to share this video right now. Invite all your friends. Let's have a good time. But I want to take this opportunity to invite the guest that I've got for today, because I've been following him for a very, very, very long time. His name is Tei Huagie, and I asked him how he pronounced his name, but his name is Tei Huagie. Tei has been a friend of mine on Facebook for a very long time. I love his work. His work is so unique. His work is so different. He's exhibited in Africa, in North America, in Europe. He's also conducted and participated in workshops around the world as well. He's a sculptor, he's a painter, and he's a self-trained clothes designer. Can you imagine one person having all these skills and talent within him? Now, his works have been collected in some of the world's most renowned institutions and private institutions, such as the Royal Ontario Museum in Toronto, the World Bank Arts Program in Washington, D.C., Denmark National Museum in Copenhagen, Julian Michael Architect in South Africa, and Shell Ghana in Accra. My God, my God. Let him feel so welcome when I put him on screen right now, and let us discuss about how he achieved all these things and more. So let us welcome him with a hand clap. Tei Huagie. Hi, Tei. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very fine. Thank you. And you too?
Goodness. I'm doing well. So finally, I've been able to get hold of you, and I'm so privileged. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Great. I'm so privileged to have you this afternoon to grace the occasion. And I know that people who are watching us around the globe, both on Facebook and on YouTube, are so privileged to have you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. So we're going to talk about yourself. We're going to talk about your artworks. We're going to talk about life in general as well, because we'd like people to know the life of an artist, the life of a creative person from an African perspective as well. And this is what we are on about, to educate. So if I may ask, who is Tei? If we say Tei Huagie, who is Tei?
Okay, thank you very much, Eric. Tei is a Ghanaian-based visual artist, a sculptor, a painter, and love working on clothes as a passion. So, yeah, Tei Huagie is an Accra-based artist, visual artist, yes.
And I mean, you mentioned these three areas. It's all about creativity.
Can I hear you again? Excuse me.
It's all about creativity for you.
Yeah.
So, guys, let me just get my mic, the other mic.
The sound is very faint. Please, I can't listen.
moment, and we'll be carrying on. So Tei has actually gone back to sort out the sound, his end as well. I've also done the same my end, and we will be carrying on with the conversation because it's really important to know Tei's story when it comes to his artworks. I mean, I've got a lot of pieces that I'd like to show this afternoon, pieces that are so different from what I'm normally used to as an artist. Because as he said, he's a painter, he is also a sculptor, and he's a clothing designer. Can you imagine? I mean, his pieces are unique. It's not just the usual clothing that we will talk about. He's got a technique, and we'll be talking about that as well in detail. So I'm trying to get in touch with him so that he comes on board right now. So we talk about all things art, all things art. But I hope you're doing well. Your Saturday's been going well. I mean, it's been sunny these days in London, and the weather has been great to us. Normally, we don't have this kind of weather in London, but it's been sunny these days. So hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope you're getting your creative thinking hat on as we get ready to speak to Tei. He joined us a moment ago. The sound wasn't great, so he's actually locked off to log back in so that we can capture every single thing he says. He's somebody that I've looked up to all these years. He's somebody whose work inspired me as well. As I told you, I don't just bring any guest on, but I bring on guests that will inspire us, that will push us to the next limit, and also showcase what we've got as African artists. Because we bring something different to the table. Our creations are quite unique. Our creations are spiritual in a sense, because we delve into the sixth dimension, basically, and the works that we bring are unique. So I will try and give Tei a call right now just to make sure that he's okay down his end, and then we'll carry on with the program. So bear with me right now. Right, so we had a few technical issues there, both here and in Ghana, but we are happy to have both ourselves on Tei as well. Tei, it's good to have you back. The question was, how did you get into all these three sectors of art? So painting, sculpture, clothing design. Let's start from when you were young. What really inspired you to get into creativity, art specifically?
The line is very faint, please. I'm having issues here.
So how did you get into art per se? Okay, so the connection to Ghana is not that great. He can't hear me now, but we'll make sure it works. Even if I have to call him on WhatsApp for this to work, I'll do so because I really want us to hear from Tei at the moment. Internet connection in Africa in general is not that great, but we're working on it. Hey, we're working on it. Africans always get around things. So we're going to make sure that this works. So I'll call him on WhatsApp. I'll call him on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and we'll make sure that it works. So let's see. Right, let's call him now. In the meantime, do well to just share the video and invite your friends in. We're going to keep it probably for 30 minutes. I normally do an hour and 30 minutes of this show, but probably because of connection problems down in Ghana, we're going to keep it short. But I will make sure that I show as many of his works as possible so that we can, talk about them and get to know Tei a bit more. So I'm calling Tei at the moment. Hello, Tei.
Hello, Eric.
Okay, probably. Hello. As you're trying.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you all right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
I don't know what is.
Okay.
I don't know what is happening. Let me try. It just goes off.
Yes. Otherwise, what we will do is we'll be talking over. We'll talk over WhatsApp, and then what I'll do is I'll show your pictures for you to talk about it, and then I can use your audio to back it up because we really want to hear from you. So if you send me, if you send me that number, yes, if you text me the number, we'll talk over WhatsApp, and then you will watch yours on your Facebook to see what I'm showing, and then you can actually talk about it on WhatsApp. Great. So we've agreed that I'll show his artwork still. He will talk over it, on WhatsApp as I show each of his pieces. As I said, technology sometimes fails us, but there's always a way around it, and we'll make it work. We will make it work. So I'm going to give him my number right now. He's also going to give me his number right now, and then we'll switch to WhatsApp to make it work. Okay. Keep sharing the video, and we will make this work. But it's all about African art, African art, African art. What I'm going to do right now is put one of his pieces on screen for you to know what I'm talking about. So great. There we go. That's one of his wonderful pieces. This is an abstract painting, so complex, but it would be good for him to tell you what his intent was, because I can explain it the best way I can. Color scheme, shape, complexity, in terms of what he's trying to achieve here. I want the artist to tell you exactly what he meant when he was painting this piece. Okay. So I'm getting through to Tei on WhatsApp now. Good afternoon, Tei.
Hello.
Hi. So basically,
Hear you, but your voice is very faint, please.
I've called you on WhatsApp right now, and you're live on air. I've shown one of your artworks. If you're watching Facebook's broadcast or YouTube's broadcast, you can see I'm displaying two of your artworks on screen. Can you talk us through them?
Come again.
So I'm showing two of your paintings on screen right now. Can you see them on your screen?
Go ahead.
Can you see the paintings on your screen? Can you see them? Can you see the paintings on your screen?
That's good.
Can you see them? Can you see the paintings on your screen? Right. Okay. Okay. So try and join how you joined previously, and then we'll actually use StreamYard to talk about your paintings. All right then. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to go back to plan A. He's going to try and join on StreamYard again, and then we'll take it from there. That's the problem with technology, but we'll get around it, as I said. So his artworks are predominantly paintings, and he uses the acrylic paint and oil paint as well. He works in abstract, figurative work, as well as he uses shapes to depict the human figure in a way. And then he is a sculptor as well. He's somebody who sculpts using different materials. So he's trying to join right now. And as soon as he joins, we'll take the first piece of artwork for him to talk about. Okay.
I'm here, please.
Tei is here. Right. Tei,
Yeah.
Two pieces of your artwork on screen.
Yes, I can see two paintings. Yeah.
That's right. That's great. That's great. Can you tell the audience what these paintings are about? Because I can see two beautiful abstracts on screen.
Yes, the one on the left side is a work with the title Three Soccer Men, like footballers. Yes, and the style of my paintings are circles. The philosophy about that is, I believe, the most beautiful and complicated shape in the world that happens to participate in any shape in the world is circles. So I try to employ these circles, be it small or big or medium or whatever, into my works to create shapes. Yeah,
and I know you've captured them very beautifully, because your color palettes are not very much in your face, very controlled color palettes as well.
Thank you. Sometimes I try to let the mood in which I'm painting control and flow in my painting. So the colors you are seeing sometimes is the mood and the shapes that I depict is what control the paintings and everything and the colors as well. Yeah.
Amazing. So let's talk about, art. What really got you into paintings and art in general?
Yeah, into art in general. And I always say art is something that I can do best in life. From basic school. From basic school, I went to technical school because of an uncle who was very successful. Was an electrical engineer, and he became very successful. So I was always inspired by him and wanted to be like him. So I attended a technical school to study electrical engineering, and let me tell you, if you ask me today to install a socket on the wall for you, you've given me the worst problem in my lifetime. I can't do it. Yeah, and I realized art is what I can do best. From my infancy, I used to draw on the grounds, draw my grandparents to shackle on the grounds and everything, you know. So I was advised from this technical school to join an art college. So it was there. I saw my call and I followed it, and here I am. Yeah.
So it's something that came very naturally to you as well.
Yeah. Some sort of I can really say that, because really it's the best I can do. You may realize we're having problems right now with the technology, and I was so confused. You know, I have to sometimes call my kids.
We have to stick to what we know best, isn't it? We have to stick to what we know.
Yeah. So creativity, art is what I can do best. So
hey, there we go.
I'm on my call.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that one. The moment you realize what you can do best in this world, you stick to it and you become the best at what you can do best.
Yes, of course. And you feel so good. You feel it's like a divine call, you know.
Yes.
And sometimes if it makes you forget about sorrows and predicaments and everything, you know. You know, if you are really in your area, you know. Yeah.
That's very true. It makes you forget about the sorrows of life.
Yes. The craziness of life, excuse my word, in this world.
That's
sometimes if you are in the mood, if you are behind your pieces controlling, you know your tools and your materials, you know, you feel so sacred to me. I feel so divine. Yeah, when I'm working, you know, it's my call, and I don't care whether there is love on the table or not. Sometimes I may be working and forget everything and don't even think of going back to eat or whatever, you know.
Amazing.
So my family, I've noticed that, and the moment they find me working, they don't near me at all, because they know I'm in another world. I'm in another world.
And that is the beauty of art. Guests watching us, today I'm speaking to Tei Huagie, an outstanding artist in Ghana and the rest of the world. His work has been shown all over the world as well, and I'm so privileged to have him. We had a few technical issues initially, but now we are here speaking, and I'm going to show his pieces. We're going to talk about his work. So we've shown the first one. The second one is this one. We've got, as you said, you use circles to actually get your work done. What material do you use? Is it oil, acrylic, or what? What kind of material do you use?
This time I use acrylic a lot. Yeah, I use acrylics. Yeah, I use acrylics. Yeah.
All right. So can you tell about the two pieces that we've got on screen, please?
Okay, thank you. And the first one on the left is by the title Village. Is it? Okay, let's talk about a bit about the title. Right. Sometimes because of the many paintings you have, you may tend to forget some titles. So, but making love in the garden is the second one on the right. Yeah. And love in the garden is the second one on the right. Yeah. And usually my work talks about love, because I think without love we can't do anything. Without love, the word love, the four-letter words is a very strong, powerful word, which I think everybody must respect and do as the way it is. Yeah, and in this work you can see a couple on the picture in the garden making love, and it is something I encourage a lot, because if love takes place, families are going to rise well, and nations are going to get on well. You know, the ethnicity, you know, problems, the tribal problems we've been having, all are going to be solved if love is taking place well. So most
That
of
is very
my
true.
words talk about love. Yeah. It
That
can
is
be
very, very
agape
true.
love, it can be love of romance or whatever. It's love. Yeah.
Love is love, and love conquers
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
If we have
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
we will conquer all. There wouldn't be a lot of violence around. Love conquers
Yes,
all.
of course. Yes, of course. And
I
I
love your
remember,
piece in
sorry,
the sense that
yeah, and
carry
the
on.
other piece is, yeah, thank you. The other piece is the beloved village.
Okay.
Beloved village, you know, when I was a kid and during vacation times, we used to go to the village, you know, to visit the whole folks there and some families there, you know, and this time, I don't get much time to do this, but recollecting the past, you know, where I can visualize my village, you know, is something that bring me some peace, and you know, so
That's right.
I love the villages, you know, compared sometimes the place look very natural and very hygienic, and you know, comparing the villages today to the
To the
urban
city.
areas is quite bad. So sometimes I paint these village scenes, you know, to compare them to the urban areas which I live in. I live in the urban, I live in Accra, you
That's
know,
right.
and Accra is full of filth, the gutters are choked and everything. And when you go
Yeah.
to the villages, it is a different case, you
It's a
know.
different
So
thing.
yeah, I try to paint such pictures, you know, to tell about how the villages are rather doing well in terms of sanitation than the
That's
urban
true.
areas,
That's
you
true.
know. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, bringing up this topic really interests me because we normally say that we want Accra to be the cleanest city in Africa and all that, but it doesn't just
Yes, of
happen.
course.
As human beings,
Yes,
we
of
have
course.
to take part in the exercise.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I always say, when you create a problem, you must be able to solve it. But here we are,
Exactly.
not only in Ghana, but globally. It's a
Globally.
global issue. You know, everybody, everywhere is stuck with fuels. When you go, I live about 4 kilometers to the ocean, to the beach side, and when I walk to that place, sometimes I feel very bad seeing the water with a lot of, you know, plastic swimming in that. I prefer seeing fishes swimming in the in the shores of the ocean
rather
than
than wait.
seeing rabbits.
That's
You
right.
know, yeah. So it's a shame to humanity today that we've created a mess and we can't solve it. It's a
Mm.
shame to us. Yeah.
Mm. And we've got a
Yeah.
comment here from our good friend Khadija. And Khadija says, for many years, Tei has been upcycling items that are considered rubbish, and he's been using, he even used old pure water chassis for huge wall hangings. That's amazing.
Mm,
Can you tell us a bit about that? I didn't
yeah.
get a picture of it, but definitely you can talk about using old pure water chassis to create wall hangings.
Yes. Khadija she's been an old friend, and I think she knows a lot about what I do, and
All
she's been
right.
following me since then about my creative activities. And she's right. I think way back 2005 or so, the French Embassy of Accra organized with Art in Action. Art in Action is an art organization in Accra,
Okay.
a private art organization, and they organized a workshop.
Right.
A workshop, and the theme of this workshop is recap artists, recycle art, and it's about artists not only from Ghana, some from the neighboring country were brought in to find a solution, use our materials at our disposal to create something, especially the discarded materials from the streets. So, and you know, the typical one is the rubber sachets, you know, the plastic. So we brought a lot of that to Du Bois Center where the program took place. And from there, I realized I can do a whole lot with this plastic. So I was sewing by then. So I converted all my machines into sewing plastics instead of sewing clothes. Yeah, and we started. It was a whole big project. We ran workshops and had a whole lot of programs about that. But you know, here we live in a country where, I'm sorry to say, the players of the game, the main stakeholders, the organizations that should encourage the creative catalyst to do something with this waste and, you know, get somewhere with it, put value on them. You know, they tend to a blind eye on us. You know, you don't get the kind of support you need, you know. So you may do the best you can and leave it like that. But you know, this is what you are doing and what you can do best. It's not about leaving it too, but it's about going ahead and doing it. But
that's right.
The way you want it, you don't have it like that. Because I wish I have a whole lot of guys who are especially the vulnerable ones on the street, to teach them how to do these things. Yes, upcycle these materials. Because I can do a whole lot with that. This time I've shifted to car tires because I realized car tires last very longer.
Much longer.
So yes, please. So I use the car tires.
I like the term that you've used. You know, instead of just recycling, you upcycle, which is a very good way of looking at things.
Yes, please. Yeah. So,
that is amazing. I mean, I would entreat on this platform, I will entreat that if there's any government official watching us, and we will keep talking about it so that it reaches the powers that be, those that are in authority, Ministry of Arts and Culture, all the institutions that are there in Ghana watching us right now. I'll entreat you to engage us, those in the creative field in Ghana, to start using what we've got. We're not going to come and bring cleanliness from anywhere else than using what we've got, and we've got the people.
Sure. We have the human resource on this, but the encouragement from these organizations is very low. It's very, very bad. You know, they tend to watch elsewhere instead of tackling the right thing on the ground. You know.
Right.
So some of us are doing the best we can. I still collect a few and tend to do things I can. If somebody come to my studio and the person loves it, fine. You know.
But well done so much for the work that you've started, and I don't think it will stop from here because we'll be encouraging more people to join you, and we will keep speaking to government to pay attention to what we bring to the table as artists.
Yes, of course. I'm going
to show the next piece that you've got here. We've got still abstract painting on the left, and then, as I said, you're a sculptor as well. On the right-hand side, we've got one of your beautiful pieces of sculpture. Can we talk about both of them?
Yes, please. Why not? First of all, let me talk about the painting. The painting is, the title is, it's also about love. Sharing is caring is the title. Sharing is caring. Yeah, is the title. Wonderful. And it talks about what I'm talking right now. You know, when love, like one great pastor always say, "Let love lead." Pastor, from Nigeria. And I think it's a very great thing to say. So here again, my work again, painting is talking about love. But here you can see two people sitting, a girl and a boy, I may say, you know, starting their love relationship. And I think if this love is there, if they are truly sharing and caring, then they will grow their love to eternity. And
love is a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing, and we must encourage it whichever way we can.
Yes. I always say the best and a useful word that we must always stick to and make sure we work on that word is love.
It's love. That's
L-O-V. Yes, this word. the most greatest word, if you ask
It's
me,
the greatest word.
is love. Yes, to
Right.
me.
I agree
It's
with you
love.
100% on that one. 100% on
Thank
that
you.
one.
Thank you.
We cannot live without love.
Never, never, never.
That's right.
Okay,
So there's
so
a comment from YouTube from Charles Anaman, and he says that yes, thank you, thanks, Doc. He's thanking you for the teachings that you're teaching right now about love. So
I'm
there
grateful.
you go.
Thank you too. I'm grateful.
Great.
I'm grateful.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, the sculpture piece. You know, I used to work on wood, but I'm a kind of a person who always loves to dance my own dance instead of imitating what somebody is dancing. I love to be on my line and do my own thing instead of
Do your own thing.
doing what people. Yeah. So I started collecting aluminum roof sheets.
Okay.
The piece you are seeing over there is made of aluminium, and this aluminium tends to be discarded. You know, sometimes when they get holes and on the roofs, you know,
yes,
they create problems for those living in the cubicles in the room. So they dispose it, and people go and collect them and sell. There is no big place in Accra where this is. So I go there and collect them, and I also collect them from the street guys. The scrap boys, we call them, and turn them into artworks. And it is a very flexible material and nice to use. You know, painting is very calm. You go to the canvas, you stand and paint, and then you come and sit for a while. You study your painting. And it's a very calm activity. But I love something vigorous. You know, something very active. You know, so I started using this material, these aluminum materials, where I use my sewing technique to sew my material, my metalworks. You know, usually metalworks sculptors who have been working on metals, they weld them.
They weld.
Usually they weld the metals. Yeah, but I want to do something extra. You know, so out of my sewing technique is where coming from my sewing of metals. You know. I collect these sheets and use galvanized wires or copper wires, winding wires to sew them, and they are very long-lasting materials, even though they tend to be very light. So it's very easy to use. It's very easy to hang. It's very light to transport and all that. Yeah. So I do shapes from it. I do some are still life, some are, you know, functional. I use them to do some tables too as well. Yeah. And I think you've done it very
beautifully. I mean, this must involve a lot of hard work. Is that so? Because sewing metal.
It is. One thing, yeah. Thanks for saying this. One thing people don't know about artists using trash to work, and when they see the finished work, they always think, oh, it's trash, so it must be something common or whatever, you know. But the cost that goes into this is very huge, because when you collect these, they are first of all dirty. You need to wash them. You know, sometimes with sometimes with detergents and all that, and then some you need to use electricity to work on them. I use drilling machines to punch my holes and all, to do my holes and all that. Yeah, and sew them. So it's very, very, very hard to work on this, but I love it. You know, when I collect them, they are corrugated. You know, you know how they look like. Yeah. Yes. On the roofs. Yeah, and you have to make them flat. You know. So here again, I love it because I use hammer to just flat them on the bench, and I love that part of my process, of my metal process. Yeah.
Yes, so you getting involved in the whole thing.
Come again.
Is you actually physically getting involved in the piece. You know, you're putting your soul into the work that you're creating.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. You know, sometimes I don't control, even though I'm the controller of my materials, but I communicate with them. You know, I let them control my process. You know, because sometimes you may you may have something to a painting or have something to a sculpture work, and it is what it is. You know, you can't change it, and you rather love it. Something, something unintentional. You know, it comes natural. So you have to just live like that to full. You know. Yeah, so I communicate with my materials a lot, especially my clothes and my metal work there, and then paintings as well. Yeah.
So viewers watching us, you just heard him. He communicates with his material. As I began this program, I said that African artists are more spiritual. We go to the sixth sense. So he says that he communicates with his materials. Now, he is a part of the creation, but he lets the components also be a part of what he's creating as well. It's a two-way affair.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Because you know, with the metals, one good story about that is, you know, some of the metals on the roofs are much more older than even my great grandparents. You know, yeah. So some were brought in. Yeah, some were brought in before the
slave trade.
Before we get independence, you know, some of these metals, some of these roofs. People tell me, oh, these were the Gold Coast types, you know, and they are old. Then they still have long lifespan if you turn them into artworks, you know, because with that they are not getting pressures from the sun and the water, you know, on the roofs, but they are just serving as an art pieces. So they are there to beautify a place or something like that. So
very well
I love them, man. Yeah.
Very well.
I love using them. I love and I respect them a lot, because once some of them are older than you and they are still existing,
they are still serving a purpose.
Yeah, they are very important. Yeah. I respect my materials.
So Tei says he respects his materials, and he turns trash into beauty. Basically, things that we think will be discarded, he actually transforms them and turns them into beautiful pieces. I'm going to show one more of your sculptures, and we'll talk about that as well. I've got 3 pieces on the screen. I know that you are actually using metal into jewelry. Beautiful pieces, beautiful pieces. Can we talk about some of them as well?
Yes. First of all, the one without the mannequin, the one on the wall is a sculpture piece. It's for a decoration. It's a sculpture, a 2-dimension piece on the wall. Right. Yeah. And you know, since I use circles in my paintings, you know, circle has been my trademark. It's in my clothes and my sculptures and my paintings. So here again, you can see some circles which are sewn, some metals which are sewn into circles, and some stripes. To form one thing. Yeah.
Beautiful piece.
And let's come to the jewelry. And the necklace, you can see some of the metals, like you said, but some of them, when you collect, most of them, when you collect, they turn into brown, you know, or the dust around, and turn them into some kind of earth colors, which are very beautiful. Yeah, some I leave them like that, and some I spray them. I use this can spray, very quality metallic spray, to spray them, which lasts very longer. Yeah, to make it quite colorful and more attractive. Yeah, so well, I turn some into chairs, like I said, tables, and some use them on some my fashion. You know, one thing, they are very light to carry. You know, and even the silver chains and all that, you know, this aluminum is very, very light to carry, you know. So on the neck, is very, very comfortable, you know. So it's something I'm working for, the necklaces and the earrings. It's something I'm working on, and I'm not selling them outside now. I'm trying to gather them, and I'm trying to gather them gradually and have enough and have some show on them. Yeah, that's right. I even use them to make hats. And I'm creating jackets, vests with them. You cannot imagine.
Oh my goodness! I mean, there's no limit. There's no limit to the things that you create.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, you know, like I was saying, I let the materials speak to me.
Okay.
You know, I may be sculpturing and maybe putting some nose somewhere on the face, and the nose may look like an hearing.
That's right.
You know, may look like something else, you know, and then I have to try that, you know. But then I have as an artist, I have my mission, I have my message across, and I have to be on my line, not trying to be everywhere. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
Not trying to be
You
everywhere,
have
but
to stay in your lane, as the Ghanaians will say.
yeah,
Stay in our lane, and then you do what you do best.
Yes, yeah. I'm on my line, you know, because as an artist, you are not only making things beautiful, but you are sending some message across. You know, you are working through your mediums to send some message. You know, and this message must be very vital, must be very useful in society, must be something that can educate. That can educate my home, educate the layman on the street, educate everyone. You know, so I try, even though I do so many things, I try to be on my line and make my message go well with my words.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think you've done that very beautifully. I mean, when it comes to you saying that you learned the clothing line or how to sew clothing on your own, how did that happen? How did you move from, let's say, painting or sculpturing to, let's say, the fashion line or clothing line?
Yeah. Thank you.
How did you? Who inspired you?
From my mom's side, they have a lot of dressmakers in the family. I mean, it's gifted to my mom's side, you know, and I grew up at my mom's side, you know. So my senior sister who lives in UK now, she's a very famous seamstress, you know, and during the time I was in school, when I come back home and I don't have anything doing, there are sewing machines at home. So seeing her working, you know, impressed me a lot, and I have to join her. But the outcome of my cloth and cloth design started when I was studying under late Mr. Monkote.
Okay.
Late Mr. Monkote, yeah. I studied under him for about 2.5 years. And during this time, you know, I was a student. I don't have money to buy art materials. You know, they are quite expensive. When he stretches the canvas, sometimes I do that for him as a student. And the leftovers and the paint, he will take them and go and do your own thing with them. Yeah. So when I come home with the pieces of canvas, the paints are not enough, and he uses oil paints. Those are the tubes, and when they remain in the tube, we are, you know, just pressing them to come out to get the surplus. It's very difficult. Very difficult. So it never happens. So I have to mobilize funds, you know, to do something. And when I come home, I don't have anything doing. I'm doing my sister to sew, but I still want to practice my painting or whatever I'm doing in the art. So the pieces of canvas, the clothes that I bring, the canvas that I bring home.
Okay.
I take the leftovers from the wax prints, the leftovers, the pieces from my sister's shop.
Yeah.
And then you know we have the traditional cloth called asasa. You know, the joint of pieces of clothes, from our mothers, And I said, no, I don't want to do asasa, but I can do something else, like collage this textile, this wax print on this canvas. Yes. So I know how to control the sewing machine, so I started doing it. And when I finished the piece, I think half of a yard. It was so beautiful. My sister said, "Wow, this is beautiful. This is like an art piece." Everybody started praising me. Yeah,
it's so different.
And it became a business. You know what happened?
Wow.
One day I was sent to Professor Glover's gallery.
Okay.
You know, in when they were in Nungwa. And the first yards I made, I sew a very bowler shot. You know, shot. We call it adasan. Traditionally, we call it adasan. You know, front tama. Yeah, when you do the wrap, the pants you wear, the shorts you wear, and we call it And I did some and wore it to Professor Abladi Grover's shop gallery. And he saw it and he said, wow, this is so beautiful.
It's
Where
amazing.
did you get it? I said, oh, I made it myself. I said, wow, this is so great. Wow. Can you produce more? I said, why not? Said no immediately. Yes, this is a very beautiful story I'm sharing to the wide world. And let me get up in the name of Professor Glover.
Oh, yes.
He's a very nice, great, he's a great guy.
He's a great man.
Yeah, he made me what I am today. He made me what I am today through this story. You know, because immediately he got me a sewing machine from his wife. Can you believe it?
Amazing.
The wife's private machine. Yeah, he gave it to me and gave me a cubicle in the gallery. And he said, this is a place for you. Produce if you want to produce. And I can't wait to start doing it. You know, because
amazing.
Yeah, because I have to mobilize some fund and start buying my art material. So this is where I started. You know, I started producing these cloth materials, and I'll come home and my sister will coach me how to cut shapes and, you know, patterns and all that. And then I started making shirts to the gallery. So people also started buying, and I started buying my art materials. Yeah. So Cloth on Cloth started from this story, from Uncle Tei's place and to Professor Glover's, and then I have to come back on my own, be in my own studio, and then started, and then started producing, and people loved it. One thing too about it, it's a very durable piece. You know, it lasts very longer. You know, because these are two close joined together, and not joined, but stitched on one. Yeah.
Those of our viewers who are wondering what Cloth on Cloth looks like, I'm going to show you the piece, and I'll let Tei talk you through the different designs that he has done. So this is the first 3 pieces that I'm going to show you. Cloth on Cloth, very beautiful, very colorful. It's never been done in Ghana before. So Tei, can you talk us through?
Yes. These are some of the shirts I made. I do short sleeves, long sleeves, menswear, and even ladies wear, and people come and they imagine you use this to do suits, to do jackets, to do, and then I try, and when I try, it's so beautiful. But this is a very, very labor intensive kind of job, you know. Yes, and this is something it's something I've created, you know.
It's unique to yourself.
I come again.
It's very unique to yourself because every single stripe you have actually hand cut it yourself and joined every single stripe together.
Yes. You know, I love keeping myself busy. It's my nature. Yeah. So this is not. It's a lot of work, but I started doing this about 25 years ago. Over 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and so. When I started, it took me about, let's say, 3 years to finish 1 yard, you know, 36 inches, yeah. But today, it takes me a day to make 3 yards, you know. So practice make man perfect, yeah. And people love it, but yes, but you know, this is something that I've created. We can create jobs, you know. Because when we hear again, when I have boys and I have sewing machines and train them how to sew, you know, they can do a whole lot of this. Because this time I don't always sew shirts or make ladies wear, but I make the clothes in yards, like 6 yards of yards, and people come and
I'm going to show exactly what you're talking about. So what you're talking about is this kind, for instance. Beautiful long piece of cloth that you've made.
Yes. And one thing too that people don't really know is that when they see it from the initial stages, people think these are pieces of clothes I just collect from the tailoring shop and stitch them. But you know, I started by that way. But today I go to the retailers in Mokola in the central market and choose my choice, you know, make my choices, you know. So I cut 6 yards or 12 yards. You know,
right.
yes, because some of the designs I may not get them short, I may not get them long. You know, it depends on the kind of yards I have.
That you have,
You
yeah.
know, that tells you the kind of the designs I'm going to make. So I buy new wax paints and cut them. You know,
It's
yeah,
so beautiful
and some
because
of them,
the color scheme that you are creating is like you're
yeah,
combining three different clothes into one long piece of cloth.
yes, 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 yes. It becomes when it is done, it becomes one unique thing. But a whole lot has gone into the thread, the different kinds of designs, you know, which have been brought together to become one
To
thing, one
become one
unique
piece.
thing, you know.
To become one
Yes,
piece.
yes,
There's another one here,
yes,
and these are works of art in itself. I mean, each clothing
yes,
has its own pattern.
yes. Here again, there was a time Prof said, "No, why can't we frame some of them? Because I can see shapes and movements in some of
Yes,
them. So let's
yes,
stretch some of them." And we stretch them, and it became something else. You know, yeah. People come and they say, "No, I would need it wall hanging." You
that's
know,
right.
so this time this time I've gone back to the time I started like collecting the canvases from my master Lake
Yeah,
Amoakwa and stitch them on it. This time I go and buy the canvas and then stitch them to make them wall hangings. You know, yeah,
wow,
and I can make any size at all, any size at all.
very, very
Just
beautiful.
keep stitching and joining. Yeah.
So the one on the left hand side, how long did it take for you to achieve that, for instance?
The one on the 6 years, it took me, when it goes not straight lines and curves and all that, it takes a bit of time. This took like 6 days. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
wow,
6 years. Yeah, it took
a
six
lot of work
days.
goes
Yeah,
into
but
that.
yes, please. But like the one you showed, the first one, the long stripes one, yeah,
Yeah.
those ones, 6 years take me only 2 days.
Okay, okay, because they
Yeah,
are straight
only
line.
2 days. Yeah, only and even with that, normally I don't work on one thing for the whole day. I shift, like I was telling you, my artworks and my materials talks to me in the studio. I
True.
may be sewing clothes and be working on some canvas, which is hanging on the wall, watching it, studying how I should go about it, and then the canvas will call me, come and put blue here.
That's it.
And then I'll leave the sewing and then find myself, painting, and I love that,
I
I
like
love
that as
that
well.
kind of, yeah, I love that kind of process because sometimes I get bored of doing one thing
That's
for
true.
so many times. Yeah, so I always have something working on, and I just find myself working on them sometimes in the midnight when I'm asleep and get up and see my paintings. Then I
And
forget
then you carry on
sleeping.
from there.
Yeah, and then I find myself. Yeah, so
I'm going to
this
show
is how it
more
goes.
of your bigger piece. This one, for instance, guys, forget the macho man at the bottom. Look at the big piece of cloth at the back.
Yeah.
This is all done by Tei. I mean, where was
Excuse me.
this? Was it in Chalawati Festival? Was it?
Yes, please. Yeah, this is I think 2016 at
Okay.
Jamestown Chalawati Street Art Festival 2016. Yeah, where I displayed this, and these are about full piece. We say 12 years is full piece.
That's right.
So these are about 9 pieces, full pieces. Joined together. To have that piece, and on it you can see movements and shapes. For me, I
That's
can
it.
see some human figure in it.
Yeah,
I
human
don't
figures
know
in
what
it.
you can see. Yeah,
I
yeah,
can see that.
I can see. Yeah. And one good thing about this or about artists, sometimes with the creator, what you are seeing is not what the viewer is seeing.
True.
Yeah, which I love that a lot. So sometimes I dislike talking so much about my artwork. So because if you don't ask, I don't talk. Because what you may have seen is not what I'm seeing.
What you're seeing.
and maybe what you are seeing is telling you a very good or unique story that you always need to listen or to watch.
That's
you
true.
know, so that one alone will let you buy that piece.
And then we've got
I
this one as
can't
well,
say-
another beautiful piece.
Yes, it is the same thing. This is
Is that
part
piece
of
the
it.
same piece? Yes.
Yes, please. This is part of it. And when I display this how do they call themselves? And Casa
Okay.
is it's a fashion
Fashion brand, basically.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, brand. Yes, please. Yeah, thank you.
And they
Yeah,
use your picture.
so this is lovely. Yes, yes, yeah. And they said, oh, they want to make a photo with it. Yeah,
That's it.
and
So
you
I know that you are impacting your community a lot in that sense. Do you work with a group of people? Do you let young boys come to your studio to learn? Is that an apprenticeship kind of thing going on, or do you work on your own?
Yes, yeah. This time I cut my coat according to my size, like they say. This time I work with my children.
That's it.
You know,
That's it.
this
And
time,
I think Tei
one
is
good
the
thing-
best thing that you can ever think of, working with your children.
Yes. And some of them may say, "Oh, I'm punishing them," or blah 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 blah. This is my legacy to my family, and it is
That's it.
personal, whether you like it or not.
Or not.
And I know COVID-19 is a bad era, but for some of us, it's been a blessing.
That's
you
right.
know, well, I want my kids to be in school, but if this is the situation and they are home, instead of letting them go on the streets or joining their friends to, play or being at places I wouldn't know, they should stay at home with me and learn and do what I do.
Exactly
and see
that.
how I hustle to put food on the table for them. And they enjoy it. They really enjoy it. They enjoy, at mornings, they even wake up and call me that is time.
That's it.
Sometimes before I'll get up, they've packed everything and started working.
That's right.
Yeah. So they are my strength now. Really, they are my strength. I don't play with them at all.
It's amazing.
When I started, and they were kids, they were children. I mean, they were babies, so to speak. Yeah. I had a whole lot of people in my studio. People bring their children to study what I'm doing, but sometimes we have a problem here with creativity because, this is something that must come from your inner parts.
That's right.
Not your mom or your dad forcing you to do what's not from you.
It's a quality.
You understand? So some come and then they find themselves away. Yeah. Some come and they want to stay to their kingdom come.
That's
and
right.
When I started, when I started teaching people, it was so nice. I do everything at my own expense, washing plastics with water, detergents and all that. It's a lot of capital,
Yes.
I put much capital into it. And we wrote to agencies to come to our aid to support, just to I have the ideas.
True.
Just encourage the boys. Encourage the boys to come and learn. I will give them. I will transfer my technology. I will give them my knowledge, my ideas to go out and then spread the word, and then also that will change their lifestyle.
That's true. And create jobs.
But
at the end of the day,
yes, but you don't get this, so you become fed up. It becomes like you are the money that should take care of you and your family. You are putting that into trash. Yeah, you are putting that into trash, and to encourage these boys. Sometimes in the afternoon, you find yourself at table with them at lunch. Which you cannot be eating while seeing your boys working and you don't give them food. You know. So I did this for some time, and I said, wow. No, I can't continue like that.
That's right.
That's right. I'm a family man. I have to think of my children and cut my coat
according to your size.
So I thank God so much that my kids are grown. Yes. The last boy is 13 years, and he can use the drilling machine. than even I do.
That's it.
I'm a middle-aged guy, but I'm seeing myself growing old. And they have fresh blood. They are very active than me.
And they are
So
taking
they
over.
work harder than me.
That's
They
it.
work harder than me. And they love it. And I always tell them, this is me.
That's good. That's
This is
good.
me. I was doing this before I brought them. Before
That's
God
it.
brought them to me.
That's it.
And this is me. So this should be their legacy.
Yes.
If I don't leave them,
Anything.
pen or
Yeah.
dime.
Yes.
This is bigger than a dime.
That's
This
right.
is bigger than a sack of money.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's true.
knowledge is bigger than a
Knowledge is
whole
bigger.
house with money. Yes,
true.
because
That's true.
knowledge never finish. You know, you have it to carry it to your grave. You know, and
Yes.
the only thing is you have to pass it on. So I'm
You have
passing it on to them.
And well
Yes,
done
and
to
I
you.
thank God they
Well
love
done
it.
to you.
I thank God they love it. I thank God they love it.
I'll use
Yeah.
this opportunity to keep encouraging the government to engage stakeholders, stakeholders in the art world. I'll use this
Yes,
opportunity
please.
to encourage the government to engage those of us who are creative to create employment and open up the creative mindset of the kids of tomorrow in Ghana.
Yes.
So I'm speaking to the government right now. Give
Yes.
us a chance to create jobs for you in the creative world. And I know that this will reach far and wide for government to get involved with us, the stakeholders, to engage the kids because they are ready to learn. They have got the ability to do so as well. So we shouldn't forget that.
Sure.
Now, I'm going to show 3 pieces of your sculptures, and then we will conclude on that one. These are huge pieces. I wonder what material these are made of.
Yeah, it's the same aluminum roof sheets.
Okay.
Some are painted, like I said, but these sheets, these forms are representing rocks.
Okay.
It's a huge stones.
Yeah.
I was in Zimbabwe, I think, about some years ago. I think 2009 or so, for a sculpture residence.
Okay.
And my first time in Zimbabwe, it was amazing. You know, the place is very beautiful, and they have stones upon stones, and these are beautiful. And how some of the stones are arranged, you may think human beings did this, but it's a work of God.
That's
you know, and I would have wished we have such stones here. We have some, but those in Zimbabwe are massive. You know, and it blows your mind. As an artist, I may go to the village and watch this for hours, and thinking, if I have my way, I'll carry some of the stones to Accra to come and beautify ourselves. But this can't happen for me. True. So I always remember and want to do something about these stones. So this time I started working on these stones, you know, using my aluminum, because some of the aluminum natural colors, like I said, the earth colors, you know, looks like stones. You know,
right.
The earth color. Yeah. So I started making shapes, all kind of shapes, you know, just to make stones, rocks, you know. And one good thing about this, mine is very light. You can carry it anywhere. The big thing you are seeing there, I can use one arm to carry it.
Oh, okay.
You know,
it's very light.
Yes.
It's very light.
Very light. One good thing about it, but it's a long-lasting material. Ask me. So imagine they are going to display this outside, like on my compound. These are on my compound right now. Okay. And what we do is, let me share this with the rest of the world. What we do is, if you want this to be displayed outside, outdoor, for good, then we fill in with concrete.
That's it.
Because inside is hollow. Yeah, inside is hollow. So we fill in with concrete, and then it lasts longer. No wind can blow this away. And we can arrange stone on stone. Yes. Yes, and we can arrange it in so many ways. You know, if I have five of these, I can tell them different ways that you may not realize if I don't tell you.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah.
Yes.
And one beautiful thing about this is if we don't fill it with concrete, we fill it with waste.
With waste
trash.
as well.
Yes. So on my compound, we select the waste. We use papers and rubbers, you know, those that don't have bad scent, you know,
right.
And then put them, so they give it some kind of weight. So the way they are having now, when the wind is blowing, it doesn't take them away anymore, you know. Yeah. So I'm imagining if even the city agencies, you know, the authorities, you know, like we got Accra, the AM, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, you know, if they can, we can dispense some of this on the paths and on the streets, you know, suitable sizes. You understand? Where I can make a window that people can put trash into it, plastics, you know, and then periodically, a truck will come and collect all away, and then it will become empty, and then they'll fill it with waste again. But it's an art piece. Yeah, and so
beautiful. I like the concept so much that you know it's a dual purpose art piece.
Yes. So this serves as two things. It serves as a waste carrier, and waste collector. Yeah, and a decorative item, you know.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
Yeah,
and I hope that we take it further and propose this to the mayor of Accra, who will probably in turn speak to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to make this work.
Yes.
So we'll speak offline to make sure that we take this further, because the idea and the concept is so beautiful, and it will help in the beautification of Accra.
I wish it works. Let me say something here. You know, when I started with this, we propose and lobby and no. But thank God, and the Danish embassy, and so in 2011, supported us for a 3-month workshop. It was a program they ran, which I was eligible, you know, to see, you know, to get funds to run a 3-month workshop, which some of the boys I taught are now tailors. Some are doing other things from the trash now, which I'm very, very much grateful for. But I asked myself, for how long are we going to allow the outside agencies, organizations here to keep on sponsoring us with this? Where are our local agencies, authorities? They should be, you know, championing these things. You know,
it's all about the appreciation of art, basically. They should appreciate.
You know, yes. We've proposed to them and lobby and one thing. I'm an artist. I'm not a businessman.
That's right.
I'm in my studio. Mine is to stay in my studio, use my God's-given talent, and work, just produce. Then somebody should come in and say, okay, I can take this to here or here or here and make it work. Because I cannot do all.
That's true.
You know, I cannot. One person cannot do all. You need a team.
Yes.
You need a team. You need a goalkeeper, you need a skipper, you need a defender and all that.
Definitely.
Or your soup palatable.
This is where that we will speak in the background and make sure that we carry on with this conversation. Time will allow us to just talk about just a bit of what you're made of. But if anyone wants to find you on social media, your Instagram account is what I've displayed there.
Yes,
is that the only place we can find you? Is it Tei Huagie on Instagram?
My surname is quite difficult to pronounce sometimes, so let me correct you. It's Huagie. It's Huagie.
Huagie.
Okay. Yeah, Huagie. Yeah, Huagie. Yeah, Tei Huagie. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, so anyone that wants to find a piece of your work, how can they buy from you?
I sell at the Artist Alliance Gallery, Professor Gomez Place. You can see my paintings and my sculptures and my Yeah, close there.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The
No, it's been
gospel
so much.
Professor.
It's been so much of a pleasure having you this afternoon. And we thank you for the wisdom that you've actually spoken into our lives. We thank you for the pieces that you've allowed us to show. And I know that this is not going to be the first time that I speak to you with regard to your arts. We'll bring more of your pieces as time goes on. Thank you so much for today.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah.
So great.
Thank you.
That was Tei Huagie, and his artworks are so beautiful. And thank you all for sticking around with me today. Apologies for the initial technical challenge, but we got over them and we had a great time with Tei. Now, don't forget to like my Facebook page, subscribe to my Instagram account and my YouTube account as well, so that I can bring you more artists from the continent of Africa. Thank you so much for this evening. It's been a pleasure having you around. Have a great day and God bless you. Bye-bye.